Hello, hello everyone. It's me, Whimsy, in the new apartment. I spent the day fixing things up, finally getting most of the books up on the bookshelves. So congratulations to everybody who picked Kamala Harris. It is Kamala Harris for the VP. Excellent, excellent. So we're going to go ahead and throw on Kamala today. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, well, actually, I want to talk about a remote I did 2 days ago, first off. And I did a remote viewing 2 days ago where I tried to put myself in the shoes of Joe Biden. And I probably should have recorded it because in the remote I did pick Kamala Harris. But it was interesting to be in his energy in the remote 2 days before, because it was a feeling like somebody who is about to pick the person you're going to marry, in the sense that right before you make that critical decision, you might go away for a few days, maybe you review other relationships. Am I really making the right decision? But what's interesting is that when I sat in his energy 2 days ago, I felt the most at ease with that decision. I felt like this was somebody I knew. This is somebody who I had a relationship with. It was someone very familiar with me. It was a close friend of Beau's. I think they dated for a while. So it just felt very natural, that connection. Whereas the other people, it was more of a professional relationship. Many of the people that were in the running were very qualified, but that sense of ease or feeling of trust and feeling of a previous relationship was, I think, really the reason why, not just her history, but his relationship with her, which is why I think he picked her. But all right, so we're going to look at Kamala Harris, and then the other thing we're going to be looking at is the weather. Now, for people who've been with the channel for a while, when I've been scanning or I've been doing energy work, trying to feel the weather, basically what I think is going to be happening with the weather, I keep getting heavy winds. The winds are coming and increasing in the winds, pulling things up. I'm concerned about crops being affected, particularly crops in the Midwest. I know that a lot of crops were destroyed. Iowa, for example, the corn got knocked down, etc. They had 100-mile winds. The other reason I was concerned about drought is that the drought is coming in from Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, which hasn't been receiving rain. So that's also contributing to this dust bowl effect that I'm concerned about. So we've got the economy in shambles. We've got the winds picking up in the Midwest. And this is why it was that feeling when I went into the energy of being like the Dust Bowl or being like the Great Depression. That really aligns well with some of the way in which Elizabeth Warren was promoting herself as the people's candidate, the daughter of a janitor, etc. So I think she will play a very, very important role in the electing of Joe Biden, just because she is from Oklahoma, and I still feel that the Midwest is going to be hit pretty hard. We'll do a simple prayer. We're going to go in, we're going to take a look at Kamala Harris, Biden, etc. And then we're going to take a look at the world weather again, just because I was asked to do that. And anything else that might come up. All right, we're going to do a simple prayer, and let's see what we find. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers. As we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic Records, we call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, for our families, for the planet, for the people we love, and even to help those we may have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Okay, let's go in. We'll do Kamala Harris first. Will she get there? What's her future? Where she's at, Ace of Wands. Four of Cups. She was hesitant to take the VP position, actually. I think that that's one of the reasons why there was a delay. I think she may have been on the fence, believe it or not. She may have been holding out, hoping for the AG position or some other position. A lot of people felt that the VP position actually wasn't the right pick for her because she may not be getting enough work or being part of the process in the way that she wants to be part of the process, and that the AG may have been a better position. But what's interesting is that she has an Ace of Wands coming. So I feel like this is going to be like a tidal wave. As soon as he announced Kamala Harris, everything becomes mobilized, and this massive coalition comes together very, very quickly. Ace of Wands is to build something, entrepreneurship. It's also that pioneering spirit. It's the Aries energy that you get with fire, wands, etc. Four of Cups being the karma that had to be gotten through as a rejection of an offer. So there was some kind of resistance either on the part of Biden or Kamala Harris about whether or not this was really going to be the right fit for her. The work begins. 10 of Wands in the first house. Let's go in. So this is a work card. This is a labor card. It's also what you have to do to get to the house. You can see the nice house there. Sometimes when people are packing up and moving and going to a new location, I'll use the 10 of Wands just because he's carrying it to a house in the distance, as if you're using the universal Rider-Waite or any of the Rider-Waites. And there we have a strong female presented as the Queen of Wands. So I've talked about the Queen of Wands as the judge or the female leader of a tribe. She's the archetype of Yehudit in the African tradition. She's Oshun, Oshun's flower is the sunflower, and she wears the yellow dress. So she's the embodiment of the powerful feminine Oshun in the traditional African tradition. So I often will think about that archetype. In the Hebrew tradition, it's more Yehudit, who judges and rules like Judah, but she's the feminine ruler, and she rules fairly. What is above? A judgment has been made. What sits below her? There's the contract or the agreement or the arrangement. They're working out the details. So there's actually some documents or some details, legal documents she will have to actually sign. That's part of the history of when you run for... I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. I guess that makes sense. He's going back to what he knows, Six of Cups in the 5th house. So this had already happened. Six of Cups is to return to a love of the past. And then the near future for her, she's riding into victory within 6 months. You can see the wands, as I've mentioned in the past, wands can be read as month cards. This card I also use as a December card. You can see the nice Christmas wreath in the background. I'll sometimes use this around Christmas time or victory within 6 months. But it's definitely a victory card moving in. And the nice thing is it's in the near future. So she's moving into a power position relatively soon. Where she is right now, she's a strong candidate. Look at that. Strength in the 7th house. That's her immediate environment. What is around her? 2 of Swords. Possible resistance. She might have to win some votes here. There's a little bit of a possible resistance here. Hopes and fears that she will be victorious. The Ace of Swords, but the good news here, she's pulled double aces, right? That's always a good sign. And 4 of Swords. To be still. So this is somebody who is taking time to seriously contemplate their next move. This is someone that's running into this election without any planning. Yeah, I think she very likely will be the VP. I think that she will make it. King of Pentacles moves into position over a 4 of Swords, so that could mean a change in position and a new leadership. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Biden's cards now, just because I'm curious to see. Her cards are excellent. You can see the pulling of the double aces, the fact that the Ace of Wands was the base of the matter, healing in the 7th house is her energy and strength, so she's really doing well. The only downside, Sun, is that there's some resistance by some of the independents, some of the voters. We knew that that was going to happen because they'd already done some polling. But I do feel, this is interesting, 4 of Swords would suggest that she's really thinking about her next move rather than just aggressively pursuing things. The fact that King of Pentacles moves in straight up is a very good sign. That's a business, that's getting to business, that's working with a man in a position of business, the business of the nation perhaps. I'm going to go ahead and now just throw on Biden and see how he's doing. Isn't this fun? Isn't it great in the new apartment? This apartment is so large, by the way. It's more than twice the size of the bungalow in West Hollywood, and I'm saving money living. So it's just like, can I afford this place? And then I remind myself, oh, I was living in one of the most expensive real estates in America, West Hollywood. So it's great. You can get a lot more space in Portland than you can LA. All right, Joe Biden. How you doing, Joe? This is so much fun. Today's a good day because we know who his VP pick is. Where he is at right now. There he is. Old love returning, planning the next 3 months, right? We're reading Wands as month cards, so that's taking him into November. And then Six of Cups is to return to a familiar love. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like when you put yourself in his shoes making that decision. This person is a nice person, but it doesn't feel right. This person's a nice person, but they're a stranger. This is a good person, but we may not be able to work together. This was something that came very easily to him. It was probably I think it was really, but the two strongest candidates, I think he almost went for Elizabeth Warren just because he wanted that coalition. And then Kamala Harris. And he had talked early on in the election about the fact that he wanted to pick somebody that he had been running against. And so that only left 2 people. So I thought, okay, it's probably going to be one of those 2. So I'm happy. Oh, he's stressing about something. Let's go in and take a look about what that's about. Looks like Biden is stressed about something. I wouldn't be surprised if he was stressed about the fact that they're trying to steal an election. Something about an authority over him or the emperor over him. So there's somebody in a position of power that could potentially make problems for him. This is a worrisome presentation here. He's getting huge backing financially. So this, again, feels like a tsunami. Now that he's picked his running mate, now that people are happy with the running mate, we're going to start seeing a lot more money coming in, a lot more investors. He's not going to have trouble raising money. Feeling trapped, feeling stressed out because of this individual, this authority. He's got a star card he's coming into, and he's negotiating with people. So it could be he's having some challenge with somebody in a position of power, and it may be money related. So it could be Bloomberg, or it could be people wanting to do backdoor deals or something like that. He feels tied and stressed out about whatever it is, and it has something possibly to do with a person in power who has money. He doesn't hold grudges. He presents in the 7th house, his immediate environment, as the Queen of Swords. So that's somebody who really does put the past behind them. Money people are next to him, so that's potentially becoming an ethical issue for him. How do you get the support without compromising certain ethics? He's gonna have that bit of a challenge. The hope and the fear, moon card, and confusion. 10 of Swords is the outcome for Biden. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but his cards often will come up as challenging. A new beginning, a clarification, something about stress and working with people in business, and then the final outcome, feeling walled off. His cards are not good. I have to be honest with you. I am concerned about Biden's cards, the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, and it may be due to whatever's going on with whoever wants to fund his campaign. It's not necessarily going to be because of Donald Trump, because that's not Donald Trump's card. This is someone in a position of power, possibly holding the purse strings. So I have to be honest, I'm a little concerned about whatever it is that Biden's going through, creating this stress. All right, so we're going to do a quick throw on Ghislaine Maxwell. People had asked if I could go ahead and take another look at her. She's under high security now because they're worried she's going to attempt suicide. So There are requests she's trying to get out of her where she's at. I just want to check to see what's going on with her. Yes, I will look at Donald Trump. People are like, could you look at Trump's cards? Let me check Ghislaine Maxwell, then I'll look at Trump. So much fun. She may get moved. She gets her wish, and then there's a Six of Swords moving in. So there is a possibility that they're going to move her from where she currently is. She is getting some help. Looks like she may be going before a female judge. She feels like she's going to be victorious because of her previous relationships. This is somebody who feels that they did a service or they were working for people high up. And so the fact that she's in this, she's not supposed to be in this. In her mind, she's not supposed to be in this situation. A judgment coming to her in the third house. Let's take a look. You can see what is above her, victory. She gets her wish and she moves out. I keep thinking that somebody's trying to get her out of there. And then you can see the judgment card here in the third house. Here's this person in a position of power, a female, possibly a legal person, giving aid or assistance. What sits in her past, the businessman, returning to a situation. See, she still has people in positions of power that want to help her. Part of me thinks that the British intelligence would like to get her out of there because they don't want her spilling the beans on certain things. But you can see the Six of Cups returning to an old love, Ace of Swords. And I think this is Epstein, action, reaction. It's a very traumatic feeling when you go into her energy. She is experiencing a lot of the trauma that her victims had. She can't leave. She has no control over her situation. Other people are controlling her. She's powerless to control her situation and what's being done to her. And so in that sense, she finds herself in many ways in the same situation that her victims were in. So that's kind of an interesting, she's beginning to worry about her mental health. This is having an extremely poor effect on her mental health, her health in general. Yeah, the outcome is mental illness, Moon card, and you can see here I love it when I can see the cards before I move them. But Moon is to howl at the moon. It's the Lunatics card. I'm very concerned when I go into the remote on Ghislaine Maxwell that this environment is causing severe mental health issues. And there is an attempt to strike some kind of a deal so that she can get out of there or something like that. I don't know how this is going to end, but I can tell you her mental health is definitely deteriorating under the conditions that she's in right now. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick throw now on Donald Trump because Biden's cards, I got to be honest, don't look good. So I don't know if that's because of sabotaging or what happens. I believe the DNC rules are if he has picked his running mate already before the DNC convention and then something happens to him, then the delegates vote, but they will probably vote for his VP pick. If it's after the nomination, it's much more likely. So if something happens to Biden, probably it's going to be Kamala Harris running. But I just want to check to see what's going on with Donald Trump. I hope that Biden's health is okay. But let's just look at Trump. Ace of Wands and the trickster. Ace of Wands to be victorious, right? Starting anew. Venture, Two of Pentacles, juggling coin, the grifter's card, right? Where he's at right now, honeymoon. Ten of Cups. What crosses it? Multiple decisions. So every time I go into the energy of Donald Trump's campaign, I always feel like it's scattered. It's scattered, like it's here, there, and everywhere. Seven of Cups is when you don't know what to do. What is above him? Oh, he's going to be doing some traveling, possibly to the West Coast. This is my West Coast card. And the reason I use the Knight of Wands as my West Coast card is because he's jumping in a southwesterly direction. And you can see those nice mountains, the Sango de Cristos in the background. So when a person's headed to California, Arizona, New Mexico, the Southwest from where they're at, they're trying to get a direction. If this card shows up, particularly in a future placement, I usually can tell if they're going on vacation, and usually sometimes this will be my Hawaii card also. He doesn't want to do, this is what I'm getting from this, and then you have walking away in the 5th house, but with a 9 of Wands coming in. Trump does not want to do whatever they're suggesting he do in order to win re-election. He's ignoring them. This feels to me like he's going on some kind of campaign or money-raising trip, but you can see the 9 of Wands is to feel defensive or not wanting to cooperate. Where he's at right now, 4 of Pentacles is a stinge card, holding on to the money. It's also a self-examination card, which is rare for him, so I would think that he's a little bit stressed out about it. What is around him? Those around him, the moon, howling at the moon. It can also indicate family members who suffer from mental illness, or just the immediate environment is one that is of not mentally healthy. Where he's at is in a frugal, a holding pattern. His hope and his fear, the karmic wheel is running out for him, the time is running out. The thief will flee the situation in order to probably avoid prosecution. He keeps getting the 7 of Swords, which is the thief card, as his final outcome. And then we clarify it with 4 more cards. We can see COVID continues to rage. I'm sorry to say, this is my COVID card. Angry wind energy in Chinese medicine. The wind is Wei Qi. It's our defense system. And when our defense system joins the other side, I think of like the 9 of Swords kind of an energy. The best way for me to describe this is it looks like somebody in his family, possibly a wife or family member, suffering from mental health challenges. There's a lot of stress in his family right now. The hope and the fear. You know, it's almost like he loses it to a woman and a woman becomes president. The Queen of Pentacles. So, a dark-haired female. So, it's going to be, I have no idea. You know, I hope Biden can serve, but this is, these cards that I just pulled on Donald Trump, it almost looks like he loses to Kamala Harris. Isn't that weird? All right, so the next thing is we're going to look at the weather. I just want to check the weather cards globally and see if we can get any more information about the hurricanes, the winds, etc., and global warming. And then I have a comment about the donations report this month, our donations. There's going to be relief for the farmers. There's going to be relief for people that experience some damage. We can see a nice Ace of Pentacles coming in with the High Priestess. Yeah, the coming weather changes have really created some problems for people. Lost income, lost wages, lost crops. There's something going to happen that's going to pull people out of this. New contracts. It's actually positive. New money being thrown at, possibly green deals. That's actually really good. But the grief is there now. I always see us saving ourselves. I always see us snapping out of this Armageddon negative energy. It's like people snap out of it and it's like, what the heck are we doing? And it's like a new contract comes in. And this is quick. This is like now. This is even as early, even before this administration leaves. Yeah, stubbornness, refusal to look at the situation, putting head in the sand. This is a feeling like we kind of didn't deal with this issue as much as we could have or should have at the time. See the star, we have hope. I think we're really gonna figure out how to save ourselves. Nice Ten of Pentacles. We have inherited something positive. So the earth, the inheritance of the earth. Lovers is cooperation in the 8th house. The energy around us is one of cooperation or reaching across the aisle. The hope and fears, the global ethos. And then the final outcome for us, meditation, to be still, self-awareness, self-examination, going within, communicating with other countries. 3 of Wands is to wait for your ship to come in over the waters. Learning creative ways to communicate. This is the defender of the land. It's the environmentalist cards. He or she who defends the land from attack. Over the Lovers card. So an indication that we'll be working together. Hopes and fears that people will walk away from the work without getting done. 7 of Cups, multiple ideas. It's almost like there's too many ideas, and so it leads to some kind of a conflict. I did one more clarification, which is about it looks like people getting, there is going to be a Green Deal. And I think what's going to happen is that there are so many companies that are going to be trying to get loans and grants from the government for this new deal that I think it's going to create a little bit of a conflict here. But the final outcome, the Pentacles and the 4 of Swords, is very good because it means slow and steady wins the race. All right. Well, that was fun. So a little bit about the donations report. We donated $100 to, I think it was Feed America. We donated $100 to the Paw people, and the Clean Oceans we donated money to. This month, I'm thinking that I would like our donations to go to Feed America. I've noticed since I've been back in Portland, a lot of people don't have food. A lot of people don't even have water because they've turned off the fountains. People are really hurting right now. So I just think that where we can all focus our money that we raise here is towards anti-hunger relief. If other people have other ideas, please let me know. Thanks everybody for watching. And I hope you love the new digs. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. I'll leave the information below. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.